We are now going to texture that sculpted collar that I am wearing here. It is still blue, but what I want it to be a golden color that matches the texture, and I would like to have it not this rounded top as it is now, but a more pointy top, so as if it was cut out, as if on the geometrical pattern those tops are being cut out. Let me first explain you something about sculpted elements, and for that purpose I not only rest the gown collar that we are using, but I also rest a belt from another outfit that has sculpted elements. If I'm going to look at this belt and I will use linked objects, then I can see, for instance, that this in objects is a cylinder, but that this is a sculpt, and you will recognize it by this sculpt texture. You don't have to worry about any sculpt textures. They're all integrated in the generators and scripts, so you don't have to add those sculpt textures yourself. And here you see this belt end has a sculpt texture as well. Now let's concentrate on this belt end, because as you can see it has a leather texture, and that is under texture, and it has a lighter, as if the light is shining on it. If I open the texture file, because I get the texture file with the pack, you can see that it has this leather texture, and here is this light line, and here is a bit darker line. It is hard to be seen, but the light line is very clear, and this light line ends up exactly here on the top of the belt. Now, how do I know where to put that light line? Because it can be anywhere on the texture file. We need some help, and for that help there is a file called UV texture map, and you will find it in your pack, and you can use it to texture this kind of prim elements. I drag the UV texture map to the texture of this belt end, and if I open the file, you see it has all kind of squares. It's all filled up with squares, starting from A1 until H8, and it is all a line of ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and that's the way of getting coordinates. So if I look at my belt end, I can see that this light line should run here on the D2, D3, D4. If you have a closer look, you can see it is all those D4, D5, D6 that I see. So if I would make that light line exactly on this spot, it will end up in the end here on the top of the belt end. So that is a way of finding out how and where to put shades or lightnings or ruffles, and that is what we call the UV texture map. I don't really need that on this sculpt because it is pretty simple, and besides I have already a texture file that has all these wrinkles in it. Because if I have opened it in Photoshop, it works the same way in GIMP. I opened my vintage lace gown collar and lace, which is exactly here, and you see it has already those wrinkles, and it has the laces. The laces I can throw away right away because I don't need them, and I will add another layer that I will fill with this golden pattern. I go to the bucket tool, and instead of the foreground color I choose pattern, and here I choose the pattern I want to use, and I fill it. This is a seamless pattern, so I don't have to worry about it. I can leave it as it is. What I want to do now is, as I said, I want to take away here those cut-off patterns, so it will end up being more or less pointy. Where on the file do I have to take that away? Is that these ones, or is that these ones? You better check before you do. And so I go back to Second Life, to the color that I want to texture, and I'm going to drag this texture map on the collar, and then I can see that if I want to take the points out, it is on the one line, so it is on the top line and not on the bottom. So in this case it really is very easy, it is not flipped or anything. So back to Photoshop, and we are going to take out these points on the top. I want to do that not only on the lace but also on the wrinkles. So the best thing is to select them all three, make a copy, duplicate the layers, merge the layers, and then work on this merged layer. So if I take away the pixels on the corner, I take away the pixels on all three, not only the lace but also the wrinkles. Zooming in closer, I now can use an eraser tool. I have used a hard eraser tool, 7 pixels now. I used a pencil, so it is really hard. It has no feathering at all, and the opacity should be 100. I can make it a bit bigger if I want. There we go. And I can take away all that I need to be taken away. The more careful you work, the more spectacular the result will be, of course. I can make the eraser a bit smaller to get also the little bits and pieces here away, like this. I also could use the lasso tool and go around here pixel by pixel and be very careful not to miss anything, because, well, this is also the wrinkles, of course. This part belongs to the one that I want to take out, and then use the backspace to take it out. So whether you use the one or the other, it doesn't matter exactly. I will finish this, and then we are going to have a look how this looks into Second Life. Finished, the top part is gone, so I can now save it as, and in GIMP use export a PNG file, and I can upload this file into Second Life. I will upload this PNG file that I now made. It is this one, the My Vintage Lace collar and lace. Here it is. See, I took away all the top parts, and I say temporary upload because I want to check it first, see if everything is okay. There it is. So I will edit the sculpt and drag the new texture to the texture tab. There we go. And I can see it has a nice, well, more sculpted border. I want it to be more pointy. So what I will do is I will, the repeat per face or horizontally, make it bigger. Like, for instance, go to 7. That is better. Or even 9. Yes, now it is nice and pointy. This is what I had in mind. So it's a nice pointy, and it has this wrinkles that really come out nice. This is what I had in mind. So you see how this would work, having it cut out, and how you can work with that UV texture map. Well, in this case it was not that needed, but it would be very needed in some things like hats and belts, etc. And now we have textured everything. We are going to finish the outfit, and that will be the next video.